Welcome back to a brand new episode of the TNT Boys Podcast. Today is August 8th of 2026. Sam is with me. Daniel is finally back after a little busy schedule he's been going and doing stuff. And
a little hiatus.
Yeah. Boys, how we doing? How we feeling? How we feeling on this Saturday morning?
Kale, how we living?
Honestly, I'm tired as fuck. Story of my life, though. Story of my life.
Everyone's tired, I feel like.
Yeah, it's been a hell of a week. A lot of stupid shit. That's all I gotta say about it.
Well, I'll go ahead and kick it off. I'm happy to be back here with Kale and Daniel recording another episode.
Heck yeah.
We recorded two weeks ago because we were unable to last week. So I had my competition. It went really well, all things considered. Obviously, having had hernia surgery literally like 10 months ago and having it been my first competition in about a year and a half, I broke a new state record on squat with 666 pounds.
A beast.
And deadlift was a little disappointing, but I kind of expected it, but still ended up having the highest deadlift in my weight class. So we got first place, got 2 gold medals. So it was a solid meet, not my best meet, but it was solid, and it was a lot of fun. And I love it. And obviously, the celebration afterwards is always fun. And now we're getting back into it. So now we have the YMCA meet coming up next weekend.
So we're recording twice again.
Well,
that's okay.
Damn it, powerlifting. Anyway.
Hey, I mean, it happens. I'm okay with recording twice if we have to.
So next weekend at the YMCA meet, I'm the director. I'm also going to be the head ref, and I'm also coaching Daniel and one other guy at the meet. So it's going to be a busy morning, but it'll be it usually goes by pretty quick. We're usually done by like noon or 1. So yeah, Daniel, how about you, buddy?
Well, getting back from Camp Moses Merrill out by Linwood, Nebraska. That's where I was last weekend. I didn't have the ability to be here and share with the fam. Missed out. But really enjoyed what we did. Went out there with the church and had us some good times. Sang us some worship songs and did us some Christian activities. I didn't take home any medals. Didn't win any wars. But you know what? I had a really good weekend.
That's good.
So,
what are your tell us about how you're feeling about next weekend's competition?
So this will be the least peaked I've ever come into a contest. This is my 3rd contest, and in both my first and my second contest, I was scheduled to PR on the platform for all of my lifts. I've been very inconsistent this year. It's unfortunate, but it's an honest truth. My schedule was hectic and many other excuses, but in the end of the day, I cut the excuses. We gauged my power coming into this contest, and we're ready to put 225 on all our bars.
Nice.
225 all the way around.
Let's say too, my birthday's next Tuesday, so I'll be the big 28, and I'll be honest, some people might think like, oh, 28, you're still young. Yeah, I get that, but like, not gonna lie, when I thought about it, it kind of hit me. I'm like, God damn it, I'm turning 28 already. Like, where has the time kind of gone the last 10 years? Graduated 10 years ago, high school, and makes you really ponder some stuff like, whoa.
Yeah.
This is definitely where I'm at right now. Like 10 years ago, this is not what I thought would be on my work.
Yeah.
Of like in my plan here.
Yeah.
Would like to say that I was watching Use Assumptions the other night, and they seemed like they enjoyed our episode of the last 5, your last 5 meals. Daniel, I don't know if you saw that one. It was basically you get 5 meals.
You get to pick 5 meals if you were about to die.
Death row, whatever.
Yeah.
Nice. Easy. Yeah. I can do that easy.
Succulent lob.
What was you? Just go ahead and give us a quick 5.
All right.
Cheeseburger.
It would be chicken Alfredo, chicken bacon ranch pizza,
Solid.
Okay.
and we've got. I was just thinking about it.
What do you think?
I'd probably have to go with some kind of chicken and rice mixture, just because I really do enjoy chicken and rice. Steak with sweet potato,
And a glass
loaded
of
sweet
milk.
potato, and a glass of milk. Well, that's standard. That comes with every meal.
He's the milkman. Damn it.
And my favorite breakfast food is pancakes, so I would probably have to throw pancakes in there.
Any 2 honorable mentions, or is that it?
Honorable mentions. I'd have to say, if you guys have ever had like a poor man's pie or a shepherd's pie.
Oh, I forgot about that. Shepherd's, if it's made right, like good shepherd's pie,
That
smash in whole pan.
And then I'll take my wife's green beans with bacon.
Mm.
She makes green beans with soy sauce, brown sugar, and a mixture that it just hits, man. I would put it in my top 10 favorite dishes of all time. She got a recipe offline, and man, it just slaps. And it looks like normal green beans with bacon, so people like dodge it. But then you try some and you're like, dude, what is this? This is really good.
Yeah. So my question is to the guys over at East Assumptions, Zach Vance. Let's hear your 5 meals that you would have as your last 5. You know, like we said, it's either you're on death row, you're about to die kind of thing. You know, I did it based off the Mythical Kitchen with Good Morning, Good Mythical Morning. I don't. You guys probably never seen it, but longtime YouTubers, been there. Rhett and Link been there forever, so they have a kitchen side of things with other people that do that with celebrities. I thought it'd be a fun episode to do, and I think it turned out pretty well. So, unless you have 5 too, make sure to let us know in that and go give that episode a listen. It was pretty good pre-recorded episode. So
Yeah, I missed out, man.
yeah,
I missed out.
you did. You had to go camping.
Dang it. Had to give my life and my time to Jesus.
How do you go to band camp?
You think Jesus would choose food over a camp? I think he would choose food over a camp.
Well, you know what's kind of interesting is
Just kidding.
to throw the hat in the ring. When you look at Jesus in the Bible, you never see a time where he actually turns down food.
See?
Yeah.
He's a
I
man's
know
man.
I know my stuff.
They're like, if they have a meal ready, he's like,
Savant.
all right, we're going to your
I'm
place.
smashing that. Give me a plate, right? Meow. You know, he wouldn't say that. Dude, there was no way.
There's no irony behind why the painting is the Last Supper, right?
Right.
Because it's supper.
Ah.
You see where I went with that?
Yeah. Supper. Get it? Get it, Kel?
You get 1 clap for that one.
You forgot to clap back.
I didn't get it. I don't no claps. Just a
You get one from Sam. So you did all right. You did all right. Anyway,
could have done a little better. Little better.
A little better.
if you guys know us,
I'll work on it.
If you guys know us by now, we're going to talk about what we usually talk about is football. We got a lot of interesting NFL stuff
What? We're talking about football?
I know.
On a football podcast?
You know, the last couple weeks, 2 or 3 weeks, I feel like, you know, Sam and I, you know, we've been sitting here and it feels like there's not a whole lot of news kind of popping up. But now, since the NFL has started the other night with the Hall of Fame game, which was one of the greatest Hall of Fame games I've seen ever. And I was glad to watch the game-winning drive on that one. But other than that, we had a lot of news pop up this week. Some extensions. We got some stuff from Aaron Rodgers.
my man.
That was, you know, I will say, you know, growing up, watching him play for the Packers is like a fuck you. Like fuck you, hate you is like Packers
Hail Mary.
Rodgers. And but like as a person on the like mic, like interviewing stuff, he's like a funny dude to me. Like,
He is. And throughout his whole career, the media has tried to paint the narrative that he's some sort of prick or some sort of asshole
Yeah.
when he's really not. You listen to him on the McAfee Show or really the McAfee Show because he's friends with Pat McAfee and a lot of those guys.
Hawkins.
He's just a dude. He's just a guy being a dude, and he just likes to shoot the shit. He just speaks what's on his mind. He's, and they try to say, oh, he was a terrible teammate. He was a terrible leader, and that like all his teammates hated him. If you really like research what's out there, most of his teammates loved him, except for like the salty receivers that left Green Bay because their contracts expired. And then they went elsewhere and weren't the same without him, like Greg Jennings. Greg Jennings left Green Bay and he wasn't the same when he didn't have a Hall of Fame quarterback throwing him the ball. But no, yeah, football has definitely had a lot more going on ever since kind of training camp started, and now the preseason has started. There's been stories coming out of different training camps around the league. Like Kale said, it was the Hall of Fame game. I didn't watch the game, but I heard there was some really good quarterback play from a couple rookies, and we'll get to that when we get to that. But
we finally get our answer about who is probably going to be the starter Arizona.
Well,
even though it's still early,
I don't know if that's definitely not set in stone yet. But
I don't know. I think Carson Beck played pretty good.
He's playing against other backups and third stringers, though. That's the thing.
I mean, all of them played everyone on both teams played well.
Yeah.
Like watching them laying the wood down in the first game, like holy shit!
Yeah,
dude got up like it was nothing.
I almost we'll talk about the Hall of Fame game because that's on our docket here for what we're going to talk about. But we're going to talk about the Hall of Fame in general too. So if you want, we can just start right off and kick it off here.
Let's go Bills, I guess.
Starting in the AFC East with the Bills. They signed their guard Osiris Torrence to a 4-year deal. So locking down that offensive line, bringing back their stud offensive guard Torrence, trying to keep Josh Allen's jersey clean and keep him well protected. Going into this season, they're going to need Josh Allen to be healthy because the AFC isn't getting any lighter. It's only getting more competitive every season. And the Bills, I mean, we saw it last year. They didn't even win their division last year. New England did. So they're trying to stay relevant in a very tough conference. And so they got to keep their star quarterback healthy. And that means re-signing the guys up front that are going to protect him. So get them their bread. Let those big guys eat. Guys have any thoughts on that one?
I think that's a good, solid re-signing for, was it a re-sign or was he a free agent?
I think it was like an extension.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that is good. Trying to protect Josh Allen because Josh Allen is their guy, obviously. You're trying to build around Josh Allen. But, like we talked about prior episodes and probably still will until something changes. But the Bills really got to get some more help for Josh Allen. But yet
Well, and another good thing about them investing in the O-line is it's going to help open up more holes in the running game for James Cook, who's a really good running back.
Very good running back,
and
yes.
When they're able to run the ball with James Cook, that also takes pressure off of Josh Allen. So Josh Allen doesn't have to go out there and play hero ball every single game. He can hand it off here and there and let James cook, right?
Yeah, and I mean, they got a couple of receivers, too, that are going to be pretty decent this year.
They brought in DJ Moore. Yep. They still have Khalil Shakir, who's a solid slot guy. And they got 2 good tight ends, Dalton Kincaid and Dawson Knox. So they have weapons. We'll see if Keon Coleman can put it together this year as kind of that other outside receiver opposite DJ Moore. But, yeah, they've got some weapons. It's not like stars, except for their running back, I would say. Daniel, any thoughts?
No, obviously just a reflection of the same thing you guys said. If you want a star quarterback to perform, then he's not going to be able to do so well from his back.
Yeah, if you don't invest in the O-line, he's going to get injured. We've seen that with the Bengals a lot during Joe Burrow's career. He does
that with Stroud too right now.
CJ Stroud, they don't do you much good injured or on their back, like Daniel said. So we'll move on to the Browns here. Cleveland's new stadium will feature artificial turf when it opens for the 2029 season, the Browns currently play their home games on grass.
Yeah, when I saw that, a lot of people are not happy about that.
No, because you're hearing them wanting to start to go back to grass, and they're going to go to artificial turf.
But yeah, you look at MetLife Stadium. Look how they put grass in for the FIFA World Cup, and everyone loved it. But now it's like they're putting in the artificial turf. You're going to get more injuries on the artificial turf because there's concrete under it, or there's like a solid base.
Yeah.
Versus you're playing on actual grass and dirt, which is, I don't know. I feel like the NFL should go back to more of the grass fields, considering the fact, like, again, MetLife has been going through a lot of injuries. And
well, I know Lambeau Field, they still have natural grass.
But yeah, they protect it every winter. I
was going to say, too.
But, I just want to say about it, like, domes, if you're building a dome stadium, you don't have to really worry about your grass. I mean, maybe it's too expensive to upkeep the grass in a dome stadium because depending on how much sunlight, but from what I've seen in the rendering, the roof is going to be glass. So
right.
It seemed like, sure, but you could put in water sprinklers. You could do whatever you want. You could. I think they put in artificial turf because there's not as much maintenance to an artificial turf than there is grass to a groundskeeper.
Yeah. At least they're not doing the old school AstroTurf.
Oh, those are ugly.
That was just begging to be injured. That was just like carpet over cement.
Yeah.
And you couldn't wear cleats on it. You had to wear like running shoes on it.
Yeah.
I remember my junior year going up to USD football camp in the Dakota Dome. They had old school AstroTurf. And we had to wear like just regular tennis shoes.
And then they switched to that next year I went there.
Yeah, the next year, my senior year, your freshman year, they switched to the grassier, like actual, like better quality turf where you could finally wear your cleats on it. The turf burn was still terrible, but it was definitely a lot better quality. So,
Daniel, you're quiet over there.
Well, I'm just trying to take it all in, did my research and looking into football, but to me, it's like reading the book of Numbers in the Bible. It's like the wide receiver is, the guard, the quarterback, and I'm trying to put names in places. So hearing you guys talk just allows me to reflect. But yeah, looking at the way that the AstroTurf was, we see that in the high impact that it has on other sports too, like runners. When you run on concrete or when you run on the street or the sidewalk, you're going to impact your joints differently than if you actually have something with more give. That's why tracks have the overlay of the tire.
I feel like if you run on a AstroTurf, I feel like when you're running, the more you stomp on that ground when you're running, it's going to affect your feet because it's hurting your feet more. Because it's I guess it's the way I think it's like a really harder it's a real hard base basically. Because if you were to go jump on concrete and try to run it, but if you're running down the field all for 2 hours, you got to think over time how that's going to affect. So
yeah, from working in a warehouse environment, you hear a lot of the guys ending up with things like plantar fasciitis because that's what they do. They walk across the concrete for miles and miles a day. So you can only imagine what you're saying, Kale, is when you're actually running across it. Yeah, you're going to tear yourself up.
Yeah, for 2 hours straight. Yeah.
Our joints are our natural shock absorbers in the body, and too much overuse, and we see the impact. So I can only imagine what that did to the players, but it's good that shifted because I didn't know that, being from South Dakota and realizing the renovations that had been done in the dome. It's good that, you got the opportunity to play on the better quality, and sorry, Sam, for your suffering.
No, honestly, I honestly didn't really mind it playing on the old school AstroTurf. It was a unique experience. I never thought I would get that opportunity, but we'll move on to the Steelers here. Before we go to the Colts, we'll do the Steelers and stay in the AFC North here. Quarterback Aaron Rodgers was on the Pat McAfee Show at Steelers training camp, and he spoke on a couple topics. He kind of gave his opinion on the whole Vrabel-Rossini situation and
Dr. Fauci,
and it was all just
yeah, you don't want to know my opinion about Fauci.
What's funny is again, going back to the whole Aaron Rodgers thing and how people try to put him in this light of being some terrible person. It's because during COVID, he didn't get the shot. He didn't conform to the masses when COVID was around. And then everyone called him a bad person because he didn't have a good relationship with his family. Well, obviously we've seen he rekindled it. I mean, and it wasn't just for publicity. Like, you could see in those pictures, like, genuine happiness between him and his family.
Especially his mom.
You saw how tight his mom was hugging him. Like, that's not just a publicity stunt. They are happy to be together again. And then you have, Fauci, who now is, can't even speak on.
Who played the fifth in the entire time of the whole fucking thing.
The science pleads the fifth.
And not only that, now he's holding attempted Congress or whatever it is.
And we don't need to get too deep into that, but that's what he was speaking on. And it's like, but what are you going to say about Aaron Rodgers now? Like, everything bad people thought was bad about him, it doesn't really exist. Like, so it's just, I just think it's comical. And
I will say,
and then he called out ESPN for.
I loved it. And then Pat's like, whoa.
Yeah, I know. For not fully covering the Rossini scandal. And it's like, she's supposed to be some.
And then he said something about somebody having he said someone had a foot fetish. I don't remember who.
Oh, I don't remember that.
Yeah, he said someone had a weird foot. Rex Ryan. He said Rex Ryan has a weird foot fetish. I'm like,
Rex Ryan.
Yeah,
that's funny.
Like, yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
And like, doesn't that just show the impact of our culture though? Because how many of us here can agree that negative content generally gets more views than positive content? So the ability to paint somebody in a negative light, in a negative corner,
yeah,
fuck, dude,
they're doing it for the publicity, for the views.
I saw a YouTube video once that said it was like Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady and like their careers and how one was a terrible leader, a terrible teammate, and one was the GOAT and the great leader and a great teammate. And it's like, what evidence do you have that says Aaron Rodgers was a terrible teammate and a terrible leader? Literally, what evidence do you have?
I think they both were great leaders and teammates.
It's just sometimes his face doesn't show it or something, but it's like no one has any actual evidence that Aaron Rodgers was a bad leader or a bad teammate. It's just what people want to believe for some reason. It's because of the narrative.
How the media paints everything.
It's the way the media paints the narrative.
And, I do agree with Vance too. I when I was watching Useless I hate ESPN too. It's so fucking washed down.
It is.
And
like
ever since Disney bought it, it's just so fucking friendly. Like how we were talking about Naruto last night. They washed it down to a watered down bullshit product.
Well, America, when they brought Naruto Shippuden to America, they had it on Disney Channel at first, and yeah, it was very watered down. But then when they moved it to Adult Swim, or Toonami, then it was fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, Disney, they washed down everything, and
Disney is not perfect.
And ESPN, I'll watch the McAfee Show every now and again, but it's
not the same McAfee Show when it first started.
But it's also not exclusively ESPN, because once they go off ESPN air, then they're free to do and say whatever they want, and they're still live on YouTube.
Yeah.
But
right, and living in the cancel culture, that's what we face. Is these companies want to stay neutral or watered down because they don't want the censorship, they don't want the cancel.
They don't want to get fined by the whatever the
FTC.
The FTC, yeah, that's all it is. But like, I did laugh when Aaron did the.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, I respect it.
Yeah. No, I like it. He's just he's authentic. And for some reason, people are.
He's himself.
Some people
Very down to
are.
earth.
Some people are like intimidated by authenticity sometimes. Like they want to see this fake persona of like a Tom Brady.
Yep, I would agree with that 100%.
Or even like to a point almost like a Drew Brees. Like this fake good guy persona.
You know what? I feel like Drew is nice though. Tom, I don't think so.
I feel like Drew, I don't know, man. I don't know because I heard some things. Remember, I don't know. This was like back 2020, 2021, maybe 2020, because Breeze was still playing going into his last year. And he said something on some sort of podcast or some show that his teammates really didn't like. And it felt like he kind of showed his true colors of like who he actually is, but like on the surface, he's tried to show himself as like, you know, this amazing guy, like Brady does. I mean, Brady tries. It's fake. You can see it.
Yeah,
and Aaron is about as authentic and real as it gets.
Yeah,
and people for some reason,
honestly, I feel like
some people love it, some people hate it, but at the end of the day, he's being himself.
I kind of get like Brett Favre was kind of a dick too, like outside, but like I get that vibe, but I don't feel like he was too at the same time.
Brett Favre, I mean, it's hard to say anymore. Like, I feel like Brett Favre, he really painted this image that he was just like this fun-loving player that played for the love of the game.
And then you see him get into welfare trouble.
But then you hear, late, of recent years, he's stealing money from the poor, But Aaron Rodgers is someone who would have Brett's back most likely because he always speaks so well of him. So it's a touchy subject, but like I said, at the core,
Shannon Sharp is like completely different off the camera too.
At the core of this topic, Aaron, he says what's on his mind. He keeps it 100. He keeps it real, and he's authentic. And no one, I don't think, will ever take that away from him. So we'll move on to the AFC South, and we've got the Colts. They signed their star running back Jonathan Taylor to a 2-year extension worth $44 million. And cornerback Cam Taylor-Britt was been suspended.
I meant to put has. Come on. I was early as shit. Okay,
okay.
Just read the fucking thing.
I am. I'm reading it.
Don't make fun of me.
I had to
Leave me alone. Leave me alone.
Cam Taylor-Britt was been suspended for 1 game for violating league's personal conduct policy. Has been suspended.
Sorry, it was like early as hell this morning. I was still waking up.
No, I was just like, wait, what does this say? And then I noticed you made a typo, and
Was that what you were trying to say before we started? Oh, never mind. It should be all right.
No.
Oh, okay.
No, that was honestly, that was about the Brown Stadium one.
Oh.
I was just like, nah, it's fine.
Yeah.
And then Titans guard Peter Skoronski has been signed to be the highest paid guard in the league with a 4-year deal. So that's good for them because they have
$1 million too.
They have a young quarterback in Cam Ward, and he has a lot of potential. And
oh boy, sorry.
They got to keep his jersey clean and keep him upright and take some pressure off of him because he was sacked a lot last year and he was under pressure a lot last year. So they need to keep their best offensive lineman happy, pay them well, because then that means your quarterback will play better. And yep. I think Cam Ward can be a great NFL quarterback. I've been watching the new season of Quarterback on Netflix, and Cam Ward is on that, and he's a fun guy to watch. He's a likable dude, and I want to see him succeed in his career. So, yeah, thoughts on that, guys?
I was also gonna point out too that Will Levis has came out and said too in a conference during the training camp. He said, "There's no other 32 quarterbacks better."
Is he still on the Titans?
I believe so.
Yeah.
and it was like a recent video I saw because like I remember him saying that like years ago or whatever. But I was like, there's no way this dude's saying this. So he got replaced by Cam fucking Ward in the draft, and dude got hurt or whatever. But yet comes back and nobody's better than 32 quarterbacks. Like, well, guess what, buddy? There is a lot more. There's like 64 more that were better than you. That's including the backups.
It reminds me of when Josh Rosen started 1 year for the Cardinals and then immediately got replaced by Kyler Murray. That's exactly what happened to Will Levis.
Yeah. Yeah, everyone hyped up Josh Rosen, and Rosen sucked ass at Miami and then sucked ass at Arizona. But whatever he's doing now, he's probably sucking ass at that too.
He was really cocky from what I remember, his attitude.
Very. Which, when I saw Carson Beck came in, I kind of thought that the same, but it looks like he's very humbled now. So,
yeah, I hope so, man. I hope he can get it figured out because he is a weird looking dude.
He's Sid the Sloth.
Well, I think he looks more like Butthead.
That too.
Daniel, any thoughts on that?
Yeah, it's good to see some of these teams that are, considered bottom of the barrel teams start to put things together on the offensive side so that they can have more of a voice. I remember last season, my wife and I got into a debate over the Raiders being the worst team in the NFL. So we had to look it up because obviously her being a Chiefs fan, me being a Bronco,
Both
and
rivals.
the Titans were down there on the bottom with the Raiders. And it just goes to show that you can have a decent defense, but your defense can't score points. So it puts you in the spinning wheels situation. So hopefully with these teams drafting for their defensive position or for their, offensive position and being able to put their quarterbacks in places where they can actually start getting some ground, maybe looking at the field a little bit more from, the lateral instead of the sky. They'll get the opportunity to move up in the ranking and be a contesting team in their conference. So
I just want to check something because you said their defense was good.
Yeah, that's all I ever hear about teams that tend to be the bottom of the barrel is they argue that their defenses are good. Like the Titans were in there, the Browns are in there. I couldn't find anything good about the Raiders to say. They didn't have decent offense.
I mean, they did have Max Crosby, but he got hurt last year.
Daniel, I don't think their defense was good last year, buddy.
Again, I don't know if maybe it's just when people bring up the team, they have to say something positive.
I don't think he was saying necessarily the Raiders' defense was good.
But
he was just saying in general.
Yeah.
In general, like if you had to pick something to reinforce in the Titans, it was their defense was outplaying their offense.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say because I was like, I'm looking here on the Pro Football Hall or Reference, great website. Again, always check it out.
Yep.
It's a great website.
I would always for football if we have to plug it, I would plug that one. I was gonna say because every game that they played and lost, it's either they're getting blown up by 30 or getting blown out by. There's time that they lost 40-6.
Right. And we struggle to say this is out of the bottom 5 teams in the NFL.
They barely beat the Titans last year, 20-10.
Right.
So,
all right, let's move on to the NFC now. Unless Daniel, did you have any AFC West stuff?
I did put the Broncos on there at the bottom, I believe.
Oh, did you?
Yep.
Oh, go for it.
So, I
Raiders
said,
are on there too. Okay. Cool.
yeah, I added that.
All right. We'll talk Broncos, Raiders, and we'll go NFC.
So I was just getting used to looking up little things about the teams, and since the Broncos is mine, I should at least look. I saw that they've got offensive. I almost did it again. Outside linebacker Jonathan Cooper.
Offensive linebacker.
Yeah, offensive linebacker.
Really?
Can you tell me what position that is again?
I remember when you first said that, and you kept saying it when we were talking about the college football video game.
Yep.
And I was just thinking, like, what is this guy talking about? Offensive linebacker?
Linebackers aren't.
And you're like, yeah, like the OLB. I'm like, Daniel, outside linebacker.
We'll get there. We'll get there. Yeah, but the outside linebacker position, Jonathan Cooper did end up going through his runs in training camp. Now, obviously, I don't know how educated our audience is as far as the league regulations, but given the nature of his felony charge being assault, he faces a 6-day suspension at the minimum. So
Yeah.
there's that regardless of what he's lining up for. And he's not the only person in legal trouble throughout the league. So,
well, it's pretty sad that, I think domestic violence suspension should be longer, personally. But yeah, you get caught for doing something other than that, like weed or something, you're suspended for like a year.
Josh Gordon's whole career was thrown in the trash because of weed.
Yeah.
But other than that, he never did anything wrong.
Yep.
He smoked a little weed once in a while and lost his chance at a.
Personally, I think if you get a domestic violence charge, I don't think you should play in the league.
I think Josh Gordon could have been just as good, if not better, than Calvin Johnson. He had that level of talent.
Anyway, go on with the Broncos.
So another thing that I saw is, and
The
obviously
Rockies.
you guys have already touched on this in past episodes, but with Davis Webb being their new OC, Sean
Davis
Payton's
Webb.
going to be
Former player, I believe. Quarterback.
Sean Payton's going to be a lot more hands-off, although that's not necessarily what the locker room would say. In the past, Sean Payton has been known to step in and try to override the calls of people that he either doesn't agree with or he plans on firing. But it sounds like the personality of Webb is that he's not a person who's easily dismissed or pushed aside. He's got a pretty fiery attitude, and he's going to stand his ground when it comes to making calls. He really loves what he does and is going to continue to put that into the franchise, and hopefully we can see only good things. But only time will tell. What do you guys think?
I could definitely see Sean Payton being like stepping in and being that person who steps in and just kind of takes over, because he's always been known for calling his own offense ever since he was with the Saints. But no, I think Davis Webb could be a good OC though. Like we were saying, he's a former quarterback. I think he played for the Giants.
He was a quarterback at Southern Miss too, I believe.
No.
No. I know it.
Texas A&M, I think. No. Texas Tech. Yeah, because Davis Webb played at Texas Tech before Patrick Mahomes came there. Because he was there, because Baker Mayfield was at Texas Tech, and then he got hurt. So then they went to Davis Webb, and then when Baker came back from injury, they were going to stick with Davis Webb.
Oh.
And then when Davis Webb left, then Patrick Mahomes took over.
He went to Texas Tech, then transferred to California. When he was at Texas Tech, they thought he was a really good quarterback, and then he went to
So
California.
he lost his job to Pat Mahomes at Texas Tech.
Yeah, but he replaced Jared Goff at California.
Yeah.
That's right.
And then he got drafted to the NFL, I think in like 2017.
Something like that.
I think they were planning on potentially having him be the future after Eli Manning, but it ended up not happening. Obviously, they went with Daniel Jones eventually, but no, I know the name Davis Webb, and hopefully
you guys hit it on the nose. I looked it up. It all tracks.
So hopefully, he can establish a good relationship with Bo Nix and the rest of that offensive core.
Quarterback.
Bo Nix is a good quarterback. He still has some.
The ceiling is so high.
I don't know about that.
You don't think so?
I mean, he's got a high ceiling, but that high of a ceiling?
But I mean, if he has the right coach and the right stuff.
I think in the right system with the right coach, yes. But physically,
not like Tom Brady ceiling.
Well, physically, I don't think he has like the same tools as a Josh Allen or a Pat Mahomes.
Okay.
But he is mobile. He can scramble around. He can run, and he's accurate. He's an accurate passer, and he doesn't have I don't think he has like a rocket for an arm, but he can throw it deep when he needs to. But he's not going to launch it like I said, like a Josh Allen or a Pat Mahomes or one of these like physical freaks at quarterback. But I do think Bo Nix is a solid NFL quarterback, but I still think right now he's probably the third best in his division behind Mahomes and Herbert. Herbert's another one of those physical specimen type quarterbacks who just has a rocket launcher attached to his shoulder. Like Bo Nix, I don't think he's that, but I do think he's very good. He is.
Right. He did well, but he also did well against broken teams, and that's coming from a person who
he's very clutch
to my team.
I'm sure he's a great leader. He seems like a very fiery leader.
And we did see some games last season that, I won't keep rehashing the mark, but that was almost verging on was this scripted because it was crazy.
I think he fits Sean Payton's offense really well. Very similar to kind of how Drew Brees did. Now, I'm not saying Bo Nix is Drew Brees, but
right, but there's a certain
similar, like that similar style of play up to like a young Drew Brees.
Right, and I think that one thing you touched on is 100% true. It's young. He's young, and I think that he's struggling with his identity. We heard arguments of him needing to stay in the pocket. Then we heard arguments of maybe he does play better out of the pocket. And then now it's, he scrambles. It's where's he actually going to be?
He's one of those quarterbacks like a Drew Brees that you need to play within the structure of the offense, focus on the timing of the routes, throw the ball accurately. But when you need to scramble, scramble. And a young Drew Brees, when he was young, could scramble. Obviously, as he got older, he was kind of just a statue back there in the pocket. But Bo Nix is young. He's going into his third year.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's still very young, athletic, can scramble. But I think as a passer, he's not going to be one of these guys that's launching it down the field like a Josh Allen, a Pat Mahomes, a Justin Herbert, Caleb Williams. Like he's gonna pick you apart with the short intermediate routes more.
And I'm wondering exactly. Oh, go ahead, Cale.
Oh no, I'll just wait.
And I'm wondering whether the acquisition of Jalen Waddle will allow him to challenge that conception of him, because Jalen Waddle has the ability to take the top.
He can stretch the field. But another thing you can do with speed demon receivers like that is just get them the ball in space on a shorter pattern and just let them run.
Right.
Or if you don't have to throw it deep to a fast receiver to get the best usage out of them.
Right. Or if you need a quick out.
Yeah, like a quick out or like even a quick slant or just like a bubble screen, something where you get them the ball in space and just get them, like get the block set up and so they can just run.
Right. I'm excited to see what their offense will look like. But anyway, we should probably move on.
I think their offense will be better this year. We'll move on. We got the Raiders. At practice on Friday, Kirk Cousins got into a minor scuffle with edge rusher Max Crosby after Crosby hit Cousins a few times in practice. So,
yeah, Cousins got pissed.
Cousins did get pissed, and rightfully so. I mean, he's the starting quarterback. Like, people are saying there's a competition between Cousins and Mendoza. There's not. Cousins is the guy right now.
Cousins is the senior quarterback.
Mendoza's the future. Cousins is the starter now.
Yeah.
And Max Crosby needs to understand that. Like, you can't just keep hitting your starting quarterback in practice, especially with some of the injuries I feel like Kirk Cousins has had in recent history.
What does that say?
Program live. Oh, the middle thing?
Yeah.
I can't tell.
I can't either.
You want me to go check?
Yeah, you want me to walk up to it?
Yeah, you check, Daniel.
Okay.
But yeah, we'll just wait till.
No, you're good. You're good.
Okay. So, yeah, I don't know. I know, but also like in football, things get heated out in practice, and sometimes and Max Crosby's a baller, and I know he gets into it. He's 100% full go, all the time. He's just that passionate. He's that hard of a worker. He's gonna get after it, and so he's probably just getting caught up in the heat of the moment and giving it his all. And I'm sure it's all love afterwards. I'm sure they get along off the field.
Well, no, that is the first week of pads too.
Yeah, and I'm sure Crosby's just happy to be back out there after his injury from last season. So I'm sure this will all be water under the bridge, eventually. But it is worth talking about for sure. So, what are your guys' thoughts on that before we move on to the NFC?
I don't know. I love Max. I think he's a great defensive end.
Yeah.
I do agree. Like you gotta keep your quarterback, whoever's that quarterback, healthy. You gotta let him be the mentor for Mendoza. And you know what? I think Cousins can still go out there and play pretty damn well for what he is and has been. But like he's not gonna be like Minnesota Cousins, but like you know what I mean.
There'll be a chance for it. I mean, Clint Kubiak is there, who's just won a Super Bowl with Seattle. And, Raiders don't have the greatest weapons at wide receiver, but they've got Brock Bowers, they've got Ashton Genty. And then it's not to say they don't have great weapons at wide receiver.
Oh.
They're just unproven.
Not only that, like Cousins also has the opportunity to show other teams while he's beyond the Raiders. It's like, hey, you can still sign me. I'll come play.
Yeah.
No,
yeah. And, he plays in a tough division. AFC West is going to be tough this year.
Did we have anything about the Falcons on here?
No. Oh, wait, I did.
Okay,
Bijan.
good. I was just wondering because I didn't know because I had something I was going to tell you too about the Falcons.
All right. Well, we'll move on. Commanders, NFC East. Wide receiver Stefon Diggs has signed with the Commanders.
Man, I tell you what, Ayuk is probably mad that he saw that. He's like, damn it.
Yeah, I don't know what Ayuk's doing these days.
But
I forgot to add. You guys can keep talking. I forgot to add one thing for the 49ers, actually.
But I keep seeing memes about how Ayuk is. They're saying like, oh, Ayuk is right there punching air or something. And it's like he could have had the chance to, have a. So I mean, like, it's kind of ironic that he went back to the 49ers. Or no, or was it Samuel?
Deebo Samuel did.
Yeah.
Yep.
Deebo went back to the 49ers.
Yep.
Ayuk though, who knows what the hell is going on Ayuk? I think he's starting to have his little AJ Brown phase going on.
Yeah, with none of the success that you mean Antonio Brown?
Yeah.
Or AJ Brown?
Antonio Brown, like his.
You said AJ Brown.
I get those mixed up. I don't know why, but I do.
But
you get what I mean.
But Antonio Brown's one of the greatest receivers of all time.
Yeah.
And Brandon Ayuk had like 2 good seasons. So like he's having an Antonio Brown like episode without the Antonio Brown success.
I will, sit here and thinking about it. I think players, when they do start to do stuff like that, it just makes their chances from going from here to here to here to here to here to here to get re-signed somewhere.
Yeah.
Until a team is really desperate enough. But like, I'm not saying Ayuk is a bad player, nor am I saying he's a great player.
I mean, I think he could be a great receiver, and he obviously showed that a couple years in San Fran. But he got paid big and then went crazy like a lot of players do. They get paid all this money and then they just don't know how to act right because they come from poverty situations as kids, or they come from, a lot of these guys come from the ghetto as kids. They come from poverty. They make it to the league and they get their first big contract and get all this money and they just forget how to act. Like they lose their minds and they forget how to act like a decent human beings.
Yeah, I think the struggle is between 2 proverbs. The squeaky wheel gets the grease. Obviously, you need the grease to get going. But if it's not that you're going, then it's that the nail that sticks out gets the hammer. And that's where he's kind of sitting is he doesn't have enough traction under the wheel to get any grease.
Yeah.
Not that he can't, but he's going to end up getting the hammer. Like Kale said, it's just going to end up as another transfer or re-sign.
Yep.
I'm going to put a mark to the... So I was going to tell you too, I was going to put a mark, some kind of mark here. So this reminds me that I need to make the reel at. So,
yeah. Moving on to the Lions.
This one I'm excited for.
They've signed running back Jahmyr Gibbs to a long-term deal. So that was good for them. He's their best offensive player, arguably their best offensive player right now with Amon-Ra. But, important to get him locked up because that offense kind of runs through him. Like, yeah, you got Jared Goff, the field general at quarterback.
St. Brown.
You got St. Brown at the slot, and, you got J-Mo out wide. You got
emerging Isaac.
You got Laporta at tight end. You got Isaac Tesla, who
is emerging.
I told you earlier this week, I didn't know he was 6'4". I just thought he was one of those typical short little white slot receivers. like a Julian Edelman
or Wes
Welker or Danny Amendola type.
Yeah.
Instead, you find out he's a yardstick.
I found out he's taller than I thought he was.
Oh, we forgot to mention in Commanders that, speaking of Wes, he's now a coach on the staff. Yeah.
He's their like offensive assistant or
something like that.
Yeah. So good to see, the Lions get their guy secured long term, and it sucks for me because I'm a Packers fan, so we got to face Jahmyr Gibbs and for good for twice a year for a long time now. And he's the guy in Detroit now. David Montgomery's no longer there. And yeah, they signed Pacheco, but Pacheco is nowhere near as good as Montgomery, in my opinion. They'll still use him, situationally, but Gibbs is the guy in Detroit now. He's going to be the workhorse, and now he's getting paid like it. So,
and I was going to say too, Kirby Joseph. I forgot to put it on there, but last year he got hurt. He had he destroyed his knee, and they don't know if he'd be able to play or not. So he's on the PUP list right now.
Huh.
And I hate to say this, there might be an early retirement for him. His knee is so bad. So I hope not, but
yeah,
I just don't feel like he's going to be the same.
It's unfortunate, but it does happen.
Branch looks like he's coming back, so that's good. Everyone's favorite player. Everyone loves him so much.
Yeah.
And then, we also signed a new defensive tackle, Ben Still, former Husker. So I was kind of pumped to see that because, we need help a little bit on the D-line, but it seems like some people have been pretty good so far.
He'll be good on the interior with Hutchinson on the outside.
But it sounds like they're using the Michigan guy we drafted more. So,
oh yeah,
which I'm okay with too. But other than that, I don't really have a whole lot for the Lions after that. So
yeah, we'll move on to my Packers, and this one is sad. But legendary running back Ahman Green has been diagnosed with early onset Parkinson's disease. Green is the team's all-time leading rusher. And he's also a Nebraska football legend, born and raised in Omaha, went to high school at Omaha Central. And just a couple years ago, legendary quarterback Brett Favre was also diagnosed with PD. So, I mean, you got, with Green Bay, it's our all-time leading passer and our all-time leading rusher have now both been diagnosed with Parkinson's disease. Two of my favorite athletes of all time, Brett Favre and Ahman Green. Just it's sad. It's sad to see, but there are ways. Obviously, with what I do for work, I work with people who have Parkinson's disease, teaching a class called Rock Steady Boxing, and there are ways to fight against the symptoms of Parkinson's, and I'm sure they're both, seeking out as much info as they can to fight back against the wicked disease that is Parkinson's. There's so many brutal side effects, but both these guys are former pro athletes and have probably stayed in pretty good shape. So that helps them in the early stages of Parkinson's. You're still able to be pretty active and do a lot of your regular stuff. And as long as they stay up with that, it's going to delay the severeness of the symptoms over time. And so I hope they stay on top of doing a daily exercise routine, and obviously there's medication that goes into it, but it's sad to see, but it's also positive and uplifting that more and more research is being found to delay the effects of Parkinson's and to fight back against the symptoms of Parkinson's. So I just thought I'd give that little spiel. Two of my favorite athletes of all time, both Packer legend, one of them also a Husker legend, both now diagnosed with the wicked disease of Parkinson's. So do you guys have any thoughts on that?
Scary disease.
Yeah.
Being a person that also has a progressive and chronic issue,
yeah,
it's something that it's just about a lifestyle, you know. You just have to live differently and you have to make different choices, right? Like I don't go into my weight training sessions expecting that like today is going to be balls to the wall every day, because some days my knee's not doing what it's supposed to, or my hip feels out of place, my balance is off. I gotta take it the way I do.
Yeah.
You know, Sam's been working alongside me for years, so now to see that, you know, disease and illness, things like that, it doesn't discriminate. It doesn't care who you are or what you've done with your life. It doesn't care where you are or what you're continuing to do. But you know, that's the big part of it is now they have the option to hopefully fight back and get that into remission, or at least hold it out as long as they can. So
Yep. So it's a wicked disease. But again, I've been working with people with Parkinson's disease for almost a decade now. And there are ways to combat it. So I'm sure they have they have all the best people in their corner helping them out. And so just gotta send a prayer both, you know, their ways. So I know Brett Favre isn't seen in the best light with some of the stuff, you know, he's been involved with recently, but you know, that's unforgivable. But at the same time, when I just think of the football player that Brett Favre was, he was a great football player. He loved it. And he was one of my idols growing up. And so it's still, you know, it hits home a little bit. So we'll move on to the NFC South. We've got the Falcons, and another running back got locked in for a long-term deal. They signed Bijan Robinson to a long-term deal. So it's cool to see, you know, after the couple seasons ago, the seasons that Saquon Barkley and Derrick Henry had, and even before that, the season Christian McCaffrey had, you're starting to see the reemergence of the running back position and the importance of it, and teams starting to invest in a quality running back and pay top dollar for a good running back now. The Colts got their guy, Jonathan Taylor. The Lions locked down Jahmyr Gibbs, and the Falcons locked down Bijan. So it's good to see the running back position kind of making a comeback, even though it should have never really
died.
It should have never really died. Now what I want to see is I want to see the fullback position make a comeback. That's what I want to see.
he wants to see some ground and pound football.
Power eye.
Let's see some football.
Power ISO up the gut.
Well, you know, like it's like we talked about the other day, when we finally had a chance to talk to each other. I mentioned about watching an interview with Brad Holmes, and they're talking about Jahmyr Gibbs, and you know how I brought up to you about the 1-2 punch. Mm-hmm. You know, I do agree with you. It's been around forever, but now teams are starting to put that in their game plans and use it more because the Lions went and did it, and they were winning with it.
Well, they're starting to do it now with 2 starting caliber backs.
Yeah.
Whereas
they're not just investing in the first starter, they're also investing in the second string as well.
That's what I'm saying.
And
is
sometimes
like,
third.
In the past, yeah, teams would do a 1-2 punch, but it's usually one guy is the starter and the other guy is the clear backup. Now it's like, well, this guy might be the starter one day. This guy might be the starter another day. And that's exactly how it was with the Lions with Gibbs and Montgomery. Now, people are going to say that Gibbs was the clear-cut better back, but there's things that David Montgomery was better at than Jahmyr Gibbs.
Through those lines.
David Montgomery was much more powerful.
He was bigger,
sturdy running back, whereas Gibbs is more of a
speedy,
get you in space, juke you out, better receiver, shifty. You know,
I think he had
that style. Now Gibbs can do it all. Montgomery can do it all, but they have their niches that they're better at, and that's where teams are starting to kind of recognize.
You know, I didn't want Montgomery to leave, but I say this: I think he deserves to start somewhere.
Oh yeah, I think, you know, if CJ Stroud can get back to his top level of play, and you know that'll open up holes for David Montgomery, I think he might have a big season in Houston.
But they need to fix that offensive line.
Yeah, which it could be a scheme thing. Who knows?
Moving on to the Rams.
Didn't you say you had one other thing to talk about for the Falcons, or no?
Oh, yeah. So with the whole quarterback situation right now. The whole quarterback situation. So
Quebec.
right now, as of right now, their starter is their third string because they got 2 quarterbacks that are still out for injury.
Who's our third string?
Some no name.
Oh, hey, oh, no name.
What
What if Tua and Penix are still both hurt by week 1? They're going to have to go out and sign someone.
Someone or roll with the third string till they sign someone.
They won't do that.
Hey, Cousins, I know we had a bad relationship. Hey.
Well, no, Raiders aren't going to.
I know they're not going to get
But
rid of them.
who could they go out and get? Who's still a free agent quarterback?
Falcons' third string is Cooper Rush.
Oh,
So he must have.
I feel like they'd be fine with starting him. I mean,
I
he
didn't
has
know.
experience.
They had maybe that guy got a 4th string spot, or maybe he.
They probably signed him to be the backup for now to Cooper Rush.
Let me look it up. Let me do this. Let me do this here. Hey, Michael, I know you're in retirement, but you want to come play?
Matt Ryan.
No, Michael Vick or Matt Ryan. Yeah, hey, we know you're our main boss here, but
Matt Ryan could do it.
I don't think you would, though.
I bet he would.
Let's see.
I mean, they could trade for Andy Dalton, who's right now third string with the Eagles. That's probably what I would do. Eagles don't really need Andy Dalton.
No.
Or, yeah. That's probably what I'd do. Or trade for Mac Jones.
Yeah, Mac Jones would be pretty decent, or Gardner Minshew.
Heck, I would take Mac Jones over Tua or Penix.
I would too. All right, let's see here what ESPN says. So right now they have Tua at starter, Michael Penix questionable. So Tua must be fine now. It was Jack Strand who I was gonna say.
Who?
Jack Strand. He is
Who?
Who is that?
Yeah.
a guy from Minnesota Moorhead.
Jack Strand and from Minnesota Moorhead.
He's a rookie.
All right. We're going to move on. NFC West. We got the Rams. Defensive tackle Aaron Donald was seen doing a workout with the team.
And full pads too.
Crazy. Daniel, I know you had something to say about that
Yeah, I was
earlier
listening
today.
to that on the way up here. Yeah. And when I was driving, I just thought, man, can you imagine what it would be to have the leading defensive player 3 times, I believe he won leading defensive player, lined up right next to Myles Garrett.
Who just won defense, just broke the sack record and won defensive player of the year.
Yeah, like legitimately, it's 2 all-stars in the defensive position on the defensive line pushing from the same side. Whoa.
I saw some memes too that said this would be the first time Myles Garrett isn't the best player on his own D line. But the way I'm seeing it is like Aaron Donald hasn't played in years. Like, I don't think he's better than Myles Garrett right now.
Yeah.
I'm
Well,
just
and
gonna-
that's
he would
kind of
be good, but they're also 2 totally different types of players too.
And that's kind of what they were talking about in the interview I was listening to, was he wants to get back into that shape. He doesn't want to be a 60-40 Aaron Donald. He wants to be a 100% the guy you remember.
Yeah.
I will say, if that team does not make the Super Bowl, that was a fail.
I want to backtrack back to the NFC South real quick and talk about the Buccaneers. Have you heard about the Buccaneers lately?
No.
So apparently Baker Mayfield is pissed.
Oh, I did hear about this. Okay.
He wanted to get a contract done. He turned down the offer that they gave him, and he said he was going to shut down talks when training camp started, which I respect. Keep the main thing, which is play football.
Right.
But I think he deserves a long-term deal from the Bucs, because not only did he come in and fill in the shoes of Tom Brady. Tom freaking Brady. He's kept them afloat. He's made the playoffs 2 out of 3 years. He's been averaging over 4,000 yards a season and like 30 some touchdowns and like lower teens and interceptions a year. He's producing at a high level. He's winning games, and they would have made the playoffs last year too if they didn't get bombarded with injuries at the mid-season point. So I don't know what the Bucs think they're doing,
And that's what.
but really good franchise quarterbacks are hard to find. And Baker Mayfield, he might not be on the same level as Pat Mahomes and Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen and those guys,
Right.
but I'd say he's probably in that next tier below.
I mean, the question mark has to be, if they're holding out, what are they holding out for? Do they believe they're going to find another Tom Brady to stick in the pocket? I'm not
don't
entirely
know.
sure.
I don't know what they're holding out for because they struggled for years at quarterback until they got Tom Brady. Like, they tried it with Josh Freeman from Kansas State. They tried it with Jameis Winston. And, they had a couple other guys in there, Fitzpatrick. They had, like Josh McCown and Mike Glennon and some of these other guys. But then they get Tom Brady and they win a Super Bowl his first year. And then they make another deep playoff run. And then his last year they like barely made the playoffs. But Tom Brady retires. And you give a league minimum deal to Baker Mayfield, give him a shot to prove himself, and he takes you to the playoffs. He takes you to the second round of the playoffs and has a Pro Bowl season. Year 2 has another Pro Bowl season, takes you back to the playoffs,
and loses to Detroit in the championship game.
Well, the second year they lost to
division, whatever.
Well, the first year they lost to Detroit in the divisional round.
Yeah.
The second year they lost to the Commanders in the first round, Jaden Daniels.
Yeah, because then they played us and then we lost.
And then the third year, they didn't make the playoffs, but they were on track to be like the best team before they got riddled with injuries. And Baker has put up solid stats. So the writing's on the wall for the Bucs. It's like you either sign Baker, get him his deal, get him his money, or you're going to be screwed. Like, I don't know.
Heard Atlanta's looking for a quarterback.
Yeah. I mean, Baker wants to be in Tampa. He's still practicing. He just shut down talks for a contract because he wants to keep the main thing. He's playing football. So I don't know. I thought that was what are your guys' thoughts on that, if any?
I would, if I was in his shoes, I would feel the same way. I think they're just taking it out on him because that he doesn't want to do it right now. He wants to focus, which is the complete opposite you want to do anyway.
Yeah. 49ers wide receiver Deebo Samuel has re-signed with the team. And this is because wide receiver Ricky Pearsall is out for the season. I forgot what his injury was.
That damn transformer electrical deal going on over there by the training camp, man.
I did see that they had a lot of injuries.
Also,
49ers.
49ers thing we forgot to put before the season starts. Christian McCaffrey's contract, I believe, runs out this year.
Another running back due for a big payday, maybe.
They're talking about he might go to the Broncos.
McCaffrey?
Yeah. He grew up a big Broncos fan.
That's true. His dad played for them.
Bronco fan didn't even hear me.
And I think he'd fit Sean Payton's offense really well, too.
He would. Bronco boy didn't hear me.
How would you think about that if Christian McCaffrey joined your team, Daniel?
I mean, we'll take as many as elite players as going to jump in and ride, buddy. Ride.
He doesn't understand how great he is. It's okay.
Oh, we do have one more NFC South here for the Saints here right at the end. Brock Rechsteiner
Rex Steiner.
on Thursday was suspended for the first 6 games of the 2026 regular season by the NFL.
And if I know, so he his dad and uncle are WWE Hall of Famers. His cousin or brother, I can't remember, but his current WWE superstar Braun Breaker, who is also a former running back, fullback player from Kennesaw State, and was really good there. But if I know them very well, it's probably for steroids.
Mm.
More than likely. So that doesn't surprise me. Dude's a good receiver too, but if he were to get cut, I guarantee you he'll go to the WWE. So
yeah.
Ricky Pearsall's dealing with a knee injury.
All right, moving on to our general section of the part of the podcast here, and then we got some college stuff after that as well. So just let's get into it. Yeah,
the Hall of Fame game was this past Thursday. We kind of talked about it earlier. Panthers, Cardinals. Rookie quarterbacks Carson Beck and Haynes King both performed very well. Carson Beck started for the Cardinals, played very well. Haynes King was a backup for the Panthers, but he led the game-winning drive for Carolina and played very well. And then the Hall of Fame inductions this weekend include iconic names such as quarterback Drew Brees, wide receiver Larry Fitzgerald, linebacker Luke Kuechly, kicker Adam Vinatieri. So some big names there. Guys, what are your thoughts?
Do you think it was ironic they put two former players of the teams that played that weekend or that day?
Maybe that's why they chose those two teams.
Maybe.
Because they chose the players a long time ago.
Yeah.
Because obviously, I mean, this class, obviously Drew Brees and Larry Fitzgerald were going to be locks for first ballot.
Yes.
You could argue Luke Kuechly, yes or no. And, Adam Vinatieri, I think he's a lock too, but
I feel like, if I remember, I feel like Drew Brees, he came down to Drew Brees and Belichick, basically. Because, how
there's more than just those guys, though.
Yeah, you got your other people.
There's others, but those are the big names.
Yeah, big name-wise.
And I don't see why they couldn't have voted in Belichick.
I bet you they're using, like, the Carolina stuff or something against him. Who knows? Or they'll just say he's
college.
still...
That's not NFL.
Unless they say he's still active, but that shouldn't matter for a coach.
That's college anyway.
Yeah. Two different Hall of Fames.
I don't know.
But if they want to classify it as like a whole NFL or like a whole football thing, then they should make a separate whole NFL football thing. I don't know.
It's called the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
Right, but like as a general Hall of Fame, like for both, but would that be pointless?
Yeah. Because they're already separate. There's the College Football Hall of Fame, and there's the Pro Football Hall of Fame. This is for pro football. Him coaching at Carolina shouldn't have anything to do with it.
Yeah.
But this is the last thing I've got for NFL. CBS Sports made an article, active NFL players who are a lock for the Hall of Fame. And I just listed them by position. So quarterback, we've got Aaron Rodgers, Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, and Matthew Stafford.
I all agree.
I agree. I'd probably also add Josh Allen.
Yep, that's what I was going to say.
And, well, I guess he did just retire, so I couldn't say Russell Wilson because he did retire already. So I was going to say Josh Allen and Russell Wilson, but Russell Wilson already retired.
Stafford would be a first ballot, I think.
Yeah, I think Rodgers, Mahomes, and Stafford would be first ballot already. Lamar, I think, would too.
If he wins the Super Bowl, I think he would.
I think he would be regardless, but he's still young. We got to see how the rest of his career plays out. Josh Allen would not be first ballot yet, I don't think. And I don't think Russell Wilson is first ballot. Stafford, I think, is first ballot now.
That's a big debatable one. I know a lot of people will argue on that one.
Yeah, I know.
But I think
it's like he's got the stats of a first ballot Hall of Famer.
MVP.
He won a ring, and now he's got a league MVP. And with how things are shaping up this year, he could go get himself another ring. Who's to argue then? I can't think of any other current active quarterbacks that I would say is a Hall of Famer right now, though.
Yeah, I can't think of one.
I
Not
think
bad. I want to say, honestly, Baker would be a second. Maybe at least third.
Baker? No. I wouldn't say so.
You don't think so?
I'd put Jalen Hurts over Baker. Jalen Hurts won a Super Bowl.
Oh, yeah. I would say, yeah, for sure.
Or I'd even put Joe Burrow over Baker.
Yeah.
Trying to think.
Running back
Any other names? Running back, they just had Derrick Henry.
I feel like you can add that one.
That one, I mean, Derrick Henry, it's hard to argue that one.
Yeah.
But I would also potentially add Christian McCaffrey, Saquon Barkley for sure, those two.
Yeah, how can they leave out Saquon fucking Barkley on that one? Like, that one's stupid. I think Jonathan Taylor.
I think it's because Saquon has had a lot of injuries.
Oh, yeah.
But his peak as best as possible there is, but he's been so injury prone. And last season he kind of had a down year. Whereas Derrick Henry's just been consistently consistent. Wide receiver, they got Tyreek Hill, Devontae Adams, and Mike Evans. I agree. I don't know of anyone I would necessarily add right now. I mean, maybe if they had a few more years under their belt, Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe OBJ. Tight end, Travis Kelce. I agree.
Yep.
Probably the only other ones I would add right now that's active is George Kittle, maybe Mark Andrews. And then offensive line, Trent Williams and Lane Johnson. I agree. Can't really think of anyone else I would add to that. Defensive tackle, Chris Jones. It's a good one. I mean, if Aaron Donald comes back, I would add him to that, obviously.
Which, little side note, his if he does come back, his just like when Philip came back, his time restarts.
Yep. And then edge, it's decent list here. Myles Garrett, Khalil Mack, Von Miller, TJ Watt. I would maybe add Micah Parsons to that. And then linebacker, it's Bobby Wagner.
Forgot to put Watt's brother in there too, JJ.
He's not active. This is active only.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know Bobby was still playing.
Yep. They didn't have any DBs on there, but can we think of any DBs that would be right now? Maybe Jalen Ramsey.
Yeah. I think he'd be a second.
Well, just Hall of Fame in general. We're not saying like first ballot. We're saying like just Hall of Fame in general.
Yeah, I would go with Ramsey.
Jalen Ramsey and Jair Alexander.
Yeah,
maybe.
He
had a good career with us, but he hasn't really done much since. I think he'll probably retire soon. Safety wise, maybe.
Honestly, Branch, I would say, if he has somewhere success out of Detroit, unless we do get our big shot like we want.
Xavier McKinney, maybe.
Kirby Joseph, if he's good.
Harrison Smith,
definitely Harrison.
Daniel, what are your thoughts? You're being real quiet over there.
Yeah, just trying to run through the positions in my head. Nothing really stands out for me. And the ones that are already on there are, I mean, obviously they're picked for a reason, right? There's none of them that we would say, why is that guy up there?
Mm-hmm. All right, Kale, why don't we get into college here?
All right, so I got some college stuff here. Not very much, but it's probably the most that we've had in a while. It seems like, just like the NFL, the college has kind of really picked up too. So we're going to start off with this big one here. You probably are not going to agree with this one, Daniel. I don't know about you. But offensive lineman Cole Hudson, following minicamp preparations with the Browns and the Cowboys, has returned to Texas after regaining a fifth year of eligibility in July. Hudson filed a lawsuit against the NCAA in Travis County, Texas, seeking an additional year of eligibility. Shocking in Texas. Last week, U.S. District Judge Charlotte Sweeney granted players like Hudson the right to play another year in college sports. I find that to be bullshit. You get into the NFL, you get your shot, you suck ass. That's all she wrote.
Yeah.
That's all she wrote, dude.
Worst case scenario, go try to play in Canada, go try to play in the UFL, but don't go back to college.
There's a reason why
you're backtracking. If you're tried the NFL and you're not quite good enough, try the UFL.
This is the shit that pisses me off about the NCAA.
You shouldn't be allowed to go back to college.
I don't think they should have let judges like this have the fucking power to do stuff like this. Like look at the Brandon Thorsby stuff.
Right.
Or look at what was the NIL stuff, that shit. Like, come on, man. Yeah. Like, you get drafted, you go undrafted, whatever. It doesn't work out. I think it's a bunch of crap.
And yet another situation where we hear crickets from the league. They're just gonna let what happens happen. And I don't agree with the way that the National College Athletic Association is dealing with a lot of the, if you want to call it, political issues of the day, because you're right. There are so many venues to go to after you step up to the NFL and then you're not exactly what you expect to be.
Hell, shit. This NIL has really spoiled these damn kids. They're trying to come out of college. They're mad that, he could have been making a bunch of money being one of their good guards for Texas. I'm not saying Texas, he was a bad guard or anything, but he just wasn't, he's not cutting out for the NFL right now.
Right.
I get it.
It could be one day.
But you can go to the CFL, have a great career there still, and still make a good bunch of money up in the Canadian Football League.
Try out the UFL. It's there for a reason.
And how many players have walked onto teams, right? There is the opportunity to be a free agent, to be signed, to
have an
just
agent
show
for
up.
a reason.
Yeah.
Right? That's a good point.
Like,
you have an agent for a reason.
You tried it with some teams, you didn't get drafted, but you still want to play football. You still want to try to be a professional football player.
Go overseas, for fuck's sakes.
And there's ways to do it than just going back to college. It almost makes it seem like he's going backwards.
But
when he wants to play football and get better and make progress, but he's going back to college. So it just, part of me also just feels like it doesn't make sense from that perspective either.
Well, it's not just, it's happening in football. It's happening in the basketball. It's happening in baseball.
Yeah.
It needs to get regulated somehow.
It's like trying to play in college and being like, oh, I'm not good enough, I'm going to go back to high school.
Yeah.
Like that's kind of how I think about it. Like, oh yeah, I tried out for Nebraska and I wasn't good enough, I'm going to go back to Norfolk High and try to play another year in high school. It's like I
think it hurts.
That's what it seems like to me. Like you're backtracking. You're not going to get better going backwards.
I think going backwards hurts you more than going forward.
It does.
Right.
Like you're past college now. Like if you want to be a pro football player and you're not ready for the NFL, go try out for the UFL or try out the CFL.
Like, wasn't there a
Those are your options. Or maybe try a few years in arena football.
I mean, Europe.
Europe.
Yeah, they're trying to get big over there.
Yeah.
And if I'm not mistaken, wasn't there a player that got drafted by the Bengals last year, and then he went back in this year's draft?
I don't know. Maybe.
I'm pretty sure there was, but I think it's just a bunch of bullshit. Like I said, I don't think a judge should have a say in that. Like, I think he found that loop and he took that loop, and who knows? I don't know.
No, yeah.
The NFL, the NCAA
he found a loophole in the process, and
the NCAA needs to figure out how to get either rid of the 5th-year option, or again, I guess maybe I don't know. It sounds hypocritical. I just said how I don't think a judge, but I feel like the government, with that protect the sports, whatever that we talked about the week prior. They really need to get that passed so that this shit doesn't happen. Like,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, dude. You lost your chance. You're not going to make it in the NFL. I know as sure as hell. You might say like, you can't say that. You're not going to make the NFL. Well, as sure as hell, I know I'm not going to make the NFL. But like, it just, it's bullshit.
And yet again, it's another example of how a player wants to continue to sit in the light so that there can be more publicity around who they are. But in all reality, and realistically speaking, if you want to play professional ball and you go to an amateur league, you're not going to play at a professional level. You're playing with amateurs.
Dude,
and that's not something to say against college football. I'm not using the term amateur to rate college players as bad players. What I'm saying is they're not professionals yet, and some of them are playing at professional caliber. I want to clarify that.
Right. Yeah.
Because once you get an NFL team, you can't do what you just did here.
No.
Yeah, you just can't. And like I looked at you and I said, you get a degree for a reason. Go use that degree. A lot of these kids that don't make the NFL, they go use their degree.
Yeah.
And they go make money out of it. A lot of people I've seen either become a real estate agent, they either invest, they become financial people or build or, you know what I mean? Like, dude.
Insurance agents.
And what's crazy, as much as I don't want this to come out of my mouth, but like, dude, you go to Texas, University of Texas, you have a good stellar career there, and you don't make it on the NFL. I would be like, if I played at Texas, it would have been an honor. Like, that's it. Well,
they're a storied football program.
Yeah, as much as as Nebraska fans,
as big as Nebraska fans we are,
I respect the program.
Oh yeah, there's still respect. You might not be a fan. To say it,
like, look at the Bears. I hate the Bears, but I still respect that team.
Well, yeah, they have their historic lineage.
Yeah, so
great football players.
I don't know. That's a really not needed thing.
Yeah.
But
yeah, it's a interesting discussion for sure, and you're seeing it more often too. I feel like
too much often.
Yeah.
Next one, we have Akron's football suites are sold out for the first time in program's history following its viral play calling promotion for season ticket holders. The offer includes a pre-game press conference, being mic'd up with the headset on a play sheet, and being in the coach's box during the game. Several sports personalities have taken part of the promotion, and Akron athletic department leaders are scheduled to appear on the Pat McAfee Show and ESPN Radio sometime on Thursday as the popularity continues to grow. So basically, they found a way to make money on their stadium because their team obviously sucks, and unless you play NCAA, but I think that's a cool thing. A team that has not had great success in Division I ever since it joined years ago. And it's a good way to make money for the school, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
If you had the opportunity, would you do that?
Yeah, I'd say so. Yeah.
Honestly,
I mean, it could actually help the football program, maybe. Yeah. In a kind of an indirect way.
What if they have a guy that called like a really good, good play calling? Like, we need to fucking hire you.
Yeah.
Imagine being like a high school coach. Like, this is my shot.
Yeah. Yeah.
Big time talent show.
All right. Sam, you're gonna laugh at this one. The Colorado Buffaloes are once again getting roasted online for looking like a pop warmer. The Colorado Buffaloes are once again getting roasted online for looking like a Pop Warner football team. Fans question for the strength and conditioning program after players' size drew ridicule on social media. Folks on the internet picked Colorado apart for their lack of size, comparing them to a high school football team, which they look really small. They really do. I saw the video, and they look like a high school football team.
Man. Y'all hiring for a strength and conditioning coach? I'll get him right.
Resume?
I'll get him right. Yeah.
And then the last
sounds like they could use one.
Right? Yeah. I would say they're about tall as Daniel, almost, if not
all of them.
Pretty much.
Jeez.
Sheesh.
Julian Lewis, he's like 6 foot.
Really?
Yeah, and he's the main receiver.
Well,
But-
at least in their favor, they can run.
Yeah, there's
They
that.
don't.
And then last and final thing I have this past Friday, the legendary coach Lee Corso was his 91st birthday. Happy birthday, Coach.
Happy
Birthday, coach.
I miss him. You know, college game day still
Yeah.
isn't the same without him.
Yeah.
But I do enjoy Pat McAfee at times.
Yeah.
But
91. Wow.
I
That's
know
crazy.
he said he's missed it. So
He doesn't look 91.
no.
She looks like he's in his 60s, maybe.
Mentally, maybe 91.
Maybe mentally, but
Maybe 110 in his mind.
but yeah, man, crazy.
But yeah, I got nothing else, gentlemen. So whoever wants to close it out, maybe do a quick rock, paper, scissors. Who's going to do it?
I got it.
Oh, he's wanting to fight.
You can do it.
Dang.
He totally gives it up. I was just going for the rock, paper, scissors.
I was just gonna do it, but I'm not gonna play rock paper scissors for
I
it.
just thought it'd be funny.
Yeah, I also thought it'd be funny. You go ahead, Sam.
No, go for it,
All right.
Daniel.
Rock, paper,
Thanks,
scissors.
thanks, TNT boys, TNT faithful.
Hey, you're welcome.
Yeah. Hey, it takes the team, right? Check us out on all the different platforms. We've got YouTube podcast. You can find us out there on Spotify, I'm sure. Thank you to Agent Life Media for all that they do. Check out their podcast, Talking Dirt, Useless Assumptions, and I'm missing one again.
What?
Hey man, you're the one that wanted to do the
Yeah,
outro,
man.
so you better remember it.
Yeah, man.
Go for it. Come on.
Talking Dirt, Useless Assumptions, and
Touching base.
Touching Base. I always forget one of them. And yeah, check out those Agent Life Media affiliates. And with that, peace out. Bye.
Peace out. Bye.
Go Rockies.